Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 5 of 11 here at MRC Tier 2. We're coming to you from a rather hazy looking Germany here at the Hungaroring. 17 corners, 35 laps. We're in tune for a great race here today. We've got only 13 drivers to say, but still hopefully that means we've still got plenty of action to come. We've got a few new faces in this week, most importantly, first and foremost, and most importantly, and actually the only one really, is the Ragster. And I'm pretty sure he's known by pretty much every single person watching right now will know of him pretty darn well. He has taken over the seat in the Red Bulls as well. Quick rundown of the standings, how we're looking going into this race. So this is round 5, so we've had 4 races so far as Mr. Fist takes that one a little wide. Winner last bout and the time before that, in his first and only 2 races so far, is Rowe. He's third in the championship behind Beefs on 58 and Hob on 52. Overspeed is in 4th on 42. Just behind him, Leclerc on 34, followed by Neved on 30. 22 for Mr. Fist, 20 for Nakamura Pug, Cow on 18, and Crucifixion on 15, rounding out your top 10. So as I mentioned last time out, Rowe was your race winner. He took it rather comfortably in the end. We are going to go on board with the Ragster for the flying lap and to run you through this circuit, which has changed a little bit over the years, but this is still turn 1. That hasn't changed, and it's still very easy to invalidate if you take that one a little too wide. And then you come down into turns 3, 2, 3 and 4. You just get that power down. You're going to get DRS from the detection point. It's literally just before the line. DRS wide open as you go along this long turn 5, sorry, a long left-hander down towards turn 6. Now this is where we're going to see a lot of overtaking and some great defensive driving into this corner. It's a little wide on the apex, still going to get that power down, get up the gears as you go through the little kink of turn 7. He's gone a little too early actually on the turning, but still, and then hard braking into turns 8. And then through a little bit of a snaky 9, 10. He's cut the corner a little bit there. Through a 11. Down towards turn 12. This is back on the original circuit now. And up towards turn 13. The Sachs hairpin. As all you remember from last season where Vettel went off. Then through... He's got his back end stepping out a little bit here. Through 14 and 15. Through then 16. And the final corner of turn 17. And he has done a... 112.39, but obviously it was invalidated, so he will be going again, and it looks like he's almost going immediately. Let's have a look at his teammate who's on the mediums. He seems to have got less grip than his teammate. This is going through turn 11 there. But yeah, quickly to... No, we've done that, haven't we? So, Buck is currently your leader. He's done an 11.7. Crucifixion getting off the line there for Overspeed to come through. Buck is actually a new driver as well, I didn't notice that. He's taken over the Salva seat. And Overspeed goes for a 14.575. Beating a couple of drivers. Let's see, is Hob still going? He is. And Raggy is in mode 0. So he might have backed off already. Let's go back onto Hob then, as he's coming around the final 2 corners. He's going to go again. He invalidated first time out. What's he done this time? He has done a 13.215 then. P6 as it stands. Raggy is definitely in the pits. Raid is on an outlap. Raggy was a little bit wide there on the pit entry. Let's have a look further up. Beefs has done a flying lap on the soft actually and put it in a 12.7. Very decent time then, especially on the soft tyres. Let's see. Let's see who's on a flying lap. Looks like Mr. Fist is going again. That back end stepping out. He's already done 2 laps on these tyres. Is he coming in as you keep going? He's going to keep going. And he does 12.7, just not improving. So stay P4 as it stands then. And he's got Luke just coming out of the garage. Let's see if that causes him issues. No, it doesn't. So Ray is on an outlap, and he will be getting his flying lap underway shortly. I don't think anyone else is on a flyer at the moment. So just wait for Ray to get round and get going. Obviously, you can see we've got 3 compounds here today: ultras, softs, and mediums. As Ray takes a very wide line to get his lap underway with, as he does. I mean, the ideal strategy is softs then mediums, but I'm not sure if anyone's going to risk the ultras. They might go for it, ultras then mediums, and that's going to be a real risk as Raid locks up big time then into turn 2, and that's pretty much his lap done for already. It's not the way to start, as Mr. Fist has retired from session, and that'll probably be why then, as Beefs gets a 5-place grid penalty for a collision. Not sure where that was, as Beefs is limp home mode at the moment. He appears to run out of fuel. I was just wondering if that was Mr. Fist trying to make a move on Beefs. Beefs trying to get out of the way and mistiming it. Backhaven is back out then. He's on another set of ultra softs. He's going to try and improve. See if he can get into the 110s here. As he is about to start his lap. Let's just see where Raid is. He obviously made a big lock up earlier in his lap. He is still going. He's all over the place. That back end has just stepped out on him a bit more than he would have liked. And he's still going, fortunately for him, and he's just going to send it straight into the pit lane. Lucas is on an outlap. Crucifixion is on an outlap, or he's invalidated his flying lap. So let's go up to Backhaven, currently your pole sitter. As he's just gone through turn 6, so he's coming into turn 7 now. Got a little bit of traffic ahead, that is Raggy. Hopefully he'll get out of the way for him. And we got to get past and get through. Raggy just needs to put the brakes on, get out of the way, and does. So through goes Backhaven. Just keeping it on the track there into the Sachs hairpin. Looking for that apex. Just getting to it almost anyway. Now 2 corners to go. Let's see if he can improve. It's looking good. He's coming up to the line now. He needs to be at 11.7. He does at 11.1. So that's a decent improvement then by just over 0.6 to hold on firmer to P1. Team Buzzo is on an outlap as well. Ray has just started his flying lap. He's just going past Backhaven, who he let past earlier. Now so he'll race on down now, down towards turn 6. Let's see how he takes it. See if he locks up at all. He's a little lock up, but not too much. Still gets it into that apex. Oversteering on the exit. He needs to keep left. And does so. Nicely taken on that corner. Now into the turn 8. Just quickly followed. That back end is stepping out on him a lot. He's a little too keen to get the power down. And that's a better line through there than last time around. So this should be a good time. If it can be a 111, he'll be well chuffed. And that's a little bit of corner cut there. And then there's another little corner cut. I think he might have bailed out that lap. And yeah, he doesn't set a time on that one. Let's have a look further up. Where's Hob? He is on an absolute stormer. He's currently P7 with a 13.2. He needs, as everyone needs, is to get into the 111s. Ideally, get into those 110s so you can get up to the front. So he's coming up to the Sachs hairpin now as Hob. Second place in the championship. Obviously, Beast is currently the championship leader, but only by 6 points going into this race. That can all change. It's a little wide, just keeping it on the track on the exit. Power down now. It's going to be a 112 something. 11.8 actually. P2 then as it stands. And Beast has retired from session. He obviously thinks he's done for the day, or he might have just crashed out very early if he has just retired. Let's have a look further down. Where is Overspeed? He's going through turn 6 and a little bit oversteering out of turn 6 and has bailed out of it. Raid is on an outlap. Raggy is on the ragged edge and into the ragged pits. So still no time set from Raid or Raggy at the back then. Raid, who is currently on that outlap. Where is Hob? Hob's done. Buzzo is done. Overspeed, we suspect is done. Yep, he's on his way in. Well, he's on his way to start a flying lap. So let's stay with this man, see if he can improve. A little wide there, but still going. So he has obviously done one lap on these tyres, and that was a very aggressive turn one. And by the fact he's shifted down to mode 0 and not using DRS, I think he invalidated on the first corner, which is unlucky then for him. Where's Leclerc? He is on an outlap. A lot of people on outlaps. I think the detection for saying they're not on outlaps is very early on. Let's just see. Well, Lucas is where I expected him to be to tell me he's not on an outlap. Maybe people are just invalidating so early that makes me think they're on the go. So Lucas is on ultra softs. He'll be trying to improve from his P7. Raid has set a time on his softs. 27 dead, but still he set a time which jumps him up one place on Raggy, who is still to find a time. Germany being a very punishing track, particularly turn 1. If you make a very small mistake there, it's so easy to invalidate the lap before you've even really got going. Out front though, Backhaven is about to start a flying lap. Let's have a quick look and see what everyone's got fitted on their best. So King Buzzo going to be on the softs, Beef's on the softs so far, Leclerc and Overspeed on the mediums. Everyone else in the top 10 is going to be starting on ultra softs as it stands, and with none of them trying to beat their previous best on a harder compound, they're really going to struggle in the race. These ultras won't last all that long. Now I'm predicting the ultras are probably going to be dead after about 5 laps, which means they're going to have to go to the end on softs or 2-stop it. Whether or not they'll be able to 2-stop it, we'll soon see. And if they try, they might have to 2-stop it on a set of softs. Softs followed by softs, not putting on a set of mediums. Apologies, I said softs earlier, and I meant mediums going on the one stop on the ultras. But Back is going to try and improve his time a little wide in the exit there. He's backed out of it, he has invalidated. Let's have a look further back. Yeah, Back has retired from session. We've got 3.5 minutes-ish left of the session, and Lucas has bailed out his lap. Where's Leclerc? He is still going a little bit slow there around turn 6. And short shifting as well. Let's see how if he can improve. He's on the softs at the moment. His previous best was on the mediums. I think he might be on his way in actually. Overspeed retires from session. He's done. 13 dead for him, but crucially he's done that on the softs. Leclerc might be trying to get this back to the pits as soon as he can if he wants another set of tyres. No, he's going for the line. Is he going to improve? He needs to be at 114.5. He does. A 113.28. So he does gain a place, but it's only a place. And I think he's going to run out of fuel before he has a chance to finish then. Further back, Raggy has come out once again. He's going out on the softs. Leclerc retires from session. Let's have a look further up. King Buzzo on a flyer. He's currently going through turn 6. Lucas is still going. He was 10 seconds down his previous race. Maybe he's just having a cool down lap and he's bailed out of that. And that's Lucas done for the day. See where King Buzzo is. He's driving quick. That's what he's doing. Throwing it into turn 12. Only 5 corners left for him. Let's see if he can improve Lucas at the tyres. Hob is still in the pits. He's still got time to come out. It's not over yet for him. King Buzzo throwing it into the last. Is he going to get up there at the front? Needs to get an 11, pretty much a 10. I think it's 11.2. P2 then for King Buzzo, and he is going again. Hob is out lap. Hamaxton, it looks like he's still in the pits for now. Raggy is on an installation lap again. Crucifixion in mode 5, I think he's going. he's going round. That's what he's doing. That's his qualifying done for the day. Just obviously put the power down a little too much on the exit of that corner. Lit up those rears and lit up the barriers. He's still going, he might as well just retire because he's not going to get any faster than his previous. So Luke is about to start a flying lap then. Or is he about to finish? About to start, he's done a 9-minute lap otherwise. He is on those ultra softs, he's trying to get himself up to the front. Hobb is about to start a flying lap, he's coming around the Sachs hairpin now. So we've got a few people out on the go. Raid is one of them. King Buzzer goes fast though with a 10.5 to take pole position as it stands. His teammate Raid has just gone through turn 4. Luke has just gone through turn 6. Let's see. Hobb is further back then. And where is Raggy? He is... I'll stick with Raggy. He might not get pole, but he needs to get a time on that board. Is he going to get a time this time around? He has invalidated every lap so far, unfortunately for him. And he's got one shot to get himself up that grid. Just one corner to go. Has he got it? Oh, I did invalidate earlier on. Runs out of ERS before he gets to the line, but P9 then for the Raggy. Where's Hobb? He's coming up towards turn 12 now. And where's Raid? He is just done the Sachs hairpin. And I don't think he's going to get to the front now because he's already at a 1:11 now. He might just improve. Does, but not enough. So, last man left. Hobb, has he got enough what it takes to get to the front? Comes across the line and he's ended up P3. So he doesn't improve. Or if he did, he didn't go up the grid at all. So we're getting a quick rundown of those finishing positions in a moment for you. Hopefully. So there you go, King Buzzer taking the pole, followed by Buckhaven, Hobb, Lucas Hatmaxton, Beefs, obviously with that 5-place penalty. He will be starting the softs, but a bit further down. Mr. Fist, followed by O-Speed, Raggy, and then Leclerc running at your top 10. Chris Fixture and Raid and Bullock are going to be starting outside the top 10, so they get free choice of tyres. Chris Fixture benefiting from being P11 and the fact that Beefs will be P11 instead of him, and Chris Fixture will go up to P10. So, that's the qualifying done with, and it's now time for the race. Obviously, as I said earlier, those going to start on the ultra softs are really going to struggle for a one-stop. They're going to have to do a 2, unless they've got something magical in those cars that they can somehow manage to do a one-stop, and I don't think they're going to be able to. So it's definitely looking towards 2-stoppers then for the ultras. They just might be able to do ultra soft. Obviously, the prime strategy, the ideal strategy, is softs then mediums, or mediums then softs. Depends what tyres you've got on. So we're just now waiting for everyone to make those final amendments to their car and get themselves onto the grid, as we're going to have the formation lap any moment now. Alright, so formation up underway. A little slow off the line is Lucas, but not too much to worry about, as Raid has only just moved off the line. A little slow back there as well. As Leclerc is gone off track. Don't worry, as always, about people getting disqualified in the formation lap. Not too much to worry about. They'll just be reset to the grid. So let's have a quick look at those tyres. So everyone starting outside the top 10 will be on the softs, along with Beefs, Overspeed and Raggy. The Red Bull's going for the same strategy as well, which is always an interesting call. It just means that one of them is going to have to pit on a different time to earn. They might have to, assuming they are still together at that point later on in the race. Expecting softs to go about 12, maybe 15 laps. And then coming in, ultras, I don't think they're going to last more than 6. Some may get them onto 7 or 8, but they'll be really, really slow by the time they get to that point. But we'll see how they do in the race in a moment. As we're just waiting for King Buzzer to lead the pack round. A little bit of gap actually forming between Hob and Buck. And Hobbs' teammate right at the back here is Luke. So he'll be the last man to take up position on this grid. Obviously Beef's currently showing P6, he will be P11 once they take up their positions on the grid. So here we go. 4, 5 red lights. They're off. And we are off for the German Grand Prix. Slow start then for, looks like Leclerc got a slow start. A little bit of nudging going on further back, and I see body damage really flying as several cars run wide. And that is a big off. That is Hob out the race. Already on the first corner as everyone else gets through. A little nudging going on there between Hatmaxton and Lucas. Leclerc a little bit offline there. He's going to be taken by a few drivers. As Raggy and I think Luke are desynced from each other, because otherwise he's trying to drive through the inside as Raggy looks to go down the inside. He's been nudged. We've got a virtual safety car. Might have just saved a few people there. I don't know if Raggy's sliding down the inside was as a result of the desync he currently has with Luke. Hopefully they'll not be busting each other too much longer throughout this race, and we won't have that issue coming again. So virtual safety car can end at any moment. They're told it is ending, and then at a random point after that we are going green and we are going racing. So let's have a look at the position changes so far. So big gains there for Crucifixion and Luke gaining 6 and 4. Mr. Fist also gaining 4 places. As we are now just waiting for the green lights to come. There they are, and we're off again. King Buzzer's got a very slow start. Buckhaven's looking down the inside. Ooh, just getting away with that. How's he managed to get away with that? Buckhaven's just lagged back there a little bit, and he's ended up back behind Mr. Fist. And Mr. Fist's going to try and drive him around the outside. Just lost the back end there and gets away with it. As Beefs is dropping like a stone. What's happened to him? That's what's happened to him. He has no front wing there, and he is right to the very back now. As Mr. Fist is going side by side with Backhaven. Is Hatmaxton going to come down the inside? He looked at it, didn't go for it in the end. Mr. Fist is going to out-drag Backhaven as we go through turn 7. And Backhaven's going to take the inside line, and they are swapping places like there's no tomorrow, these two guys in front of Hatmaxton. And we've got a great view of it on this Force Indias. But as he's going to look down the inside, he has a look, doesn't go for it. As Crucifixion is also off. He must have had a little tangle. And that is the exit of the hairpin. And maybe it was a tangle, maybe it was just a spin. Lucas is also off. And everyone seems to be struggling to keep it on the track today. It's not even wet. It's just a little bit cold maybe. After the virtual safety car restart. As King Buzzo obviously going fastest of everyone. And Leclerc is off once again. Where is this? I honestly can't tell where we are. Is this the final 2 corners? Yes it is. That's why he's off. So Beef's in the pits. New nose for him. As gaps are starting to appear as Hatmaxton got DRS on Mr. Fist. He's going to have the inside into the hairpin. Badly defended then by Mr. Fist. The inside line is the defensive line through this corner. And Hatmaxton through and up he goes. As Luke is on the back of Raid further back. And nothing to come of it just yet. But Luke gets a good drive out of the corner. He's going to make a move then. Thought about it. Raid all over the shot. Luke's got to be careful if he's going to make this move. As, well, Raid just goes very, very deep and lets him through almost. Lets through Lucas as well. Raid is really struggling to keep that car on the track. So let's have a quick look at the tyre situation then. So front four all on those ultra softs. Lucas further back then on the ultra softs as well. And we've already got a pitting from Buckhaven. Let's have a look. Is he just had enough of these ultras already? I knew they weren't going to last long, but I thought they would last a little longer than that. No, it's looking like he's just had enough of those tyres. That is definitely unfortunate for him. Going to be a two-stop from that point on. Let's have a look back up at Mr. Fist and Hatmaxton. DRS then for the Mercedes on the Force India. Hatmaxton defending the middle, but not picking a side. Mr. Fist going to send it down the inside. And obviously will take that position. Hatmaxton trying to get a better drive off, but you need to defend the inside line into that hairpin if you want a chance at holding the place. And he just didn't this time round. And Mr. Fist getting all squirrely coming off that corner. Hatmaxton just having to back off a little bit out of fear of getting a little bit tangled up in it. So Buckhaven has come out on the rear of Crucifixion and Raid has gone really wide again. What's going on with this Haas man? Seems unable to keep it where he's supposed to be going. And he's now dropped down to P10. As Buckhaven is on the back of Crucifixion. Race leader Buzzo has pitted. He's changing back onto the softs. And that just shows you how quickly these ultras are dying. As I just got aboard with Raggy, who's currently P3. He's looking like he's going to gain up on the front two drivers. Their ultra softs must be running their rest of their life here. He's not going to get DRS, and Hatmaxton is going to take the place off Mr. Fist. Mr. Fist slips into the slipstream. He's going to look down the inside. He looks down the inside. Big lock up, and they go wheel to wheel, and they've gone very wide. Through comes Raggy then, and Raggy is going to take hold of the race lead. He's got two people fighting for their lives behind him. He's going to have to be careful. Mr. Fist looking down the inside. No, he's not going for it. Big look up for Mr. Fist and slide to go with it. Through goes Hatmaxton. And Mr. Fist's tyres, I think, have just absolutely died on him. Has he got a puncher or has he just cooked them? I think he's just completely cooked these tyres. I don't think he's got a puncher. I'm trying to hear for one. He's just got no grip in that car. Oh, that's one way to get into the pit lane, I suppose. Hatmaxton speeding in the pit lane. 5-second penalty for him. Mr. Fist's tyres are absolutely shot. And he picks up a 5-second penalty for his travels as well to go with it. Let's look up front then. Overspeed does have DRS on our race leader, which is Raggy. I wouldn't say net race leaders to anyone at the moment because obviously the ultra softs are on a two-stop and everyone else is on the one-stop. We won't really have an idea of who's leading till probably in the mid-20s. And that is a long way to go for now. Lucas is making moves on Buckhaven. Lucas making these ultras last a very long time. Much longer than everyone else was earlier. In particular Mr. Fist, who tyres just completely fell off the cliff. And he just seemed to struggle to even get it pointing the right way at times. And I think Lucas's tyres have just dropped as well, because that gap to Buckhaven is dropping as well. So Lucas will be bringing his car into the pits momentarily. Out front though, Overspeed and Raggy still going at it. Through the first of the DRS sections, is 0.7 behind. He's going to get DRS again after this corner. And he's just holding on to the back then of his teammate. Wonder if there'll be team orders in play here. Raggy with a little bit of lag back straight into the path of Overspeed. And that's going to help Overspeed a bit, but Raggy gets a better drive off the corner and started to pull away. 0.7 is his lead over Overspeed, and that actually is getting bigger. Overspeed not using ERS, and we've got a yellow in sector 3. Who's that? Not sure. Lucas is still going on these ultras. King Buzzo and Luke battling at it. And Buzzo has the place. Luke then slipping back into P4. He's going to have to be careful. Backhaven is behind on relatively fresh tyres, and we wanted to come past. Let's stay with this battle for now. Is Luke going to lose a place here to Backhaven? Backhaven is within that DRS zone now of the man in front. Is Lucas coming in the pits yet? And he's not. He's determined to make these tyres last. Backhaven picks up a 3-second penalty and loses a front wheel as a result. That is the exit of turn 1, and he is done for the day. Backhaven is out of this race, and we've got a virtual safety car. He's parked on the racing line then. And this is going to work quite well for Lucas. Just allows him to cool his tyres down a little bit. And let's keep our eyes at the front. Last time we had the virtual safety car ending, we nearly had a race lead swap. So we'll keep an eye on this battle. 0.8 is the gap at the moment. Obviously that will change when the virtual safety car finishes. And we're a go. Is Raggy going to get jumped here by Overspeed? Overspeed's looking to go around the outside. I think he backs off there a little bit. As Raggy still holds P1. Overspeed is right behind. We've got a yellow in sector 2. Is that Leclerc going off again? Doesn't look like it. Braid has pitted. He's currently down in 12th. Well off the pace, unfortunately for him. He's going to be lapped shortly as King Buzzer has got right up to the back of these front two drivers. And we've got a three-way battle on for first place as it stands. Overspeed is going to have to do as Luke has gone out. Is that turn 1 again? And that is the third victim on that corner today. And that was not brought out of the virtual safety car unlike the other two. Overspeed pulls out of the DRS, goes past Raggy, but Raggy has that inside line. And through goes King Buzzo, taking advantage of the confusion around that corner. King Buzzo and Overspeed dragging down towards turn 7. Who's going to take the place? King Buzzo's going around the outside. Overspeed's got the inside line. Then they go through the S's after, and King Buzzo has taken P2 then. And will be setting his sights after the Raggy for the race lead. As we come up to the Sachs hairpin, we're on lap 9 and about to start lap 10. And they've got a back marker ahead, so this could be good news for Raggy because he's going to get some DRS from Raid to allow him a better chance of defending against King Buzzo. Raid now getting out of the way. Race leaders are coming through. Let's stick them with Buzzo. His teammate's getting well out of the way. King Buzzo with that DRS. Is he gaining? He's gaining a little bit. He's going to get a better chance here though. Oh, Raggy locking up and disconnecting unfortunately for him. A little bit of lag, sorry. Lagging up and locking up. And he's going to be taken here by King Buzzo. He's going to go round the outside there to turn 5. Beautiful overtake there. It's not done yet though. He's gone very deep. That's going to allow Raggy to come back through. And he does so. And he's taken that race lead back off King Buzzo. Let's have a look from behind from Overspeed. As King Buzzo goes a little bit wide. He picks up a 3-second penalty for his troubles. And he's just missing the back end there of Raggy. And they are battling here for the lead. This is not net lead. This is actual lead. Overspeed looking down the inside. King Buzzo gone very well. Has he gone onto the grass? He has. And that is it. That's him done for the next few laps then. He's pushed a little bit too hard. Gone onto the gravel. He's now dropped well back off the rear of Overspeed. It's going to take a couple of laps to gain that time back up. As Lucas is also retired. Is that turn 1 again? No, that is... Where's that? That is turn 12 of all places. Interesting place to have a little accident. Obviously clip that wall on the left, which I've always said is very close if you're taking the best line through that corner. I'll point it out to you shortly. But first, Overspeed on Raggy. DRS, 0.3 is the gap. Raggy goes for the defensive line, covering the inside. Covering the inside also here. Blocks the cutback beautifully, because it's just really hard to do it here. And Overspeed gets a bit of oversteer, and that is front wing damage for the Red Bull. And that has released King Buzzo to come through then to take P2. Now if you look on the left here, this is where Lucas hit. This wall just there sticks out quite a bit. Take the best line through that corner, so easy to clip that wall. And that's exactly what Lucas has done. Further back hose speed with that front wing damage. He's going to be on the way back to the pits because that is a considerable amount of damage. What he does from here, I'm not sure. Does he go onto the ultras, do a quick stint in his hat max and loses the rear himself? Don't think it was touch. I think he just put the power down a little too soon. So O3 coming to pits. Is he going to go for another set of softs? He has to use another compound. He can't use another. We can use another set of softs, but then he has to use another set. Is he going to set on a pair of mediums and try and make it to the end? I think he is. And it looks like he is. As I've just missed the King Buzzo and Raggy swapping places out front. A little bit of contact there. And King Buzzo has taken the race lead. He's on slightly fresher tyres. But King Buzzo does have a 3-second penalty. That's what's going to be helping Raggy at the moment. Just needs to hold onto the back end of the Haas driver. Don't make any little mistakes. Don't pick up any penalties. Just use the slipstream. Use the DRS. You're both going to have to pit again at some point. However, King Buzzo might have to pit for mediums. He might not be able to make it on another set of softs. As we're starting to approach the pit window for these soft tyres. I said lap 12 to 15 is the pit window. So, right, you're almost just short shifting a little bit there. He's got that DRS on King Buzzo, but he's just fallen well back outside of second, so he won't have it this time. He's just driving a little bit too cautiously and has dropped well back off the rear of the race leader. As he locks up going into the hairpin. Still just about a second is the gap between these two. And currently the closest battle on track with only 9 drivers left. We had the first 3 DNF on turn 1, obviously on different laps. Hob on lap 1, Backhaven a few laps in, and then Luke only a handful of laps to go. Then we had Lucas DNFing on turn 12, giving the wall on the left hand side a little kiss. And yeah, so now we are down to 9. Raid is well off the pace, but he's still in the race, and that's what's going to matter at the end of the day. You don't have to be at the front. I think Ragg's tyres are starting to run the course, as he's taking it very carefully through some of these corners. Just try not to light up the rears too much. Short shift there between 6 and 7. Be interesting to watch if he does any more short shifting here. Yeah, look at that, short shifting 3 to 4. Yeah, he's definitely doing a fair bit of short shifting here, so I think Ray's tyres are run the course. Obviously he does a bit of fuel saving, but he'll be now coming into the pits, I suspect, on this lap. Let's have a look further back then. Mr. Fist and Hamaxton. 2.2 is the gap between these two drivers. Carrying the same age softs. Will Mr. Fist be able to close in Hamaxton? Hamaxton, who had that little off a couple of laps ago at the Sachs hairpin, has put himself under a bit of pressure then from behind. And the gap is still hovering around 2.2 as he goes to 2.4 there. Mr. Fist will be trying to close him in. Let's have a quick look. Is Raggy going to be chucking it in the pits? I think he might be here. No, he's going for another lap out. We're on lap 15 of 34. As Hatmax is closing on the back of Crucifixion as well. He is the meat in a Mercedes sandwich. As I say, we are approaching the pit window for these softs, and I think we are pretty much at it now. So I suspect we'll see Crucifixion and Raggy pitting next time around. Beast will be trying to go a few laps longer, I suspect. Obviously he does have a little bit more life after having to pit earlier on in the race. While we look at this, just have a quick look at position gains. So Raggy up 7, Crucifixion up 8. They are the big gainers so far. Raid up 3, and a few others up 2, and a few others up 1. As Handmaxton has DRS then on Crucifixion, just not close enough this time around. He'll reset and have a go next time on that straight, unless Crucifixion does that, and that is going to allow Handmaxton to come through and Mr. Fist to come through. Where's Space? He is well off the back at the moment, so he should be coming through this time. Crucifixion obviously feeling the pressure of that force India behind, spun up his rears. And that's actually allowed Mr. Fist to gain up a little bit on Handmaxton. Obviously having to get off the accelerator with a car going the wrong way in front of you. Which has actually benefited Crucifixion's teammate Mr. Fist. That gap is now 1 second. Raggy's not coming in again. Is Crucifixion going to come in? I think he's going to have to now. He's got front wing damage. And 14 lap old tyres. And here he comes. So he's in the pits then. Crucifixion, he'll drop right down to P8. Let's go look at Mr. Fist and Handmaxton. Mr. Fist 0.8 behind. Going to get DRS here on the long turn 5. And Crucifixion's put inters on. It is raining actually. Didn't notice that. I was told it's going to be dry all race. And it is raining. I wasn't even looking for it. I wasn't expecting to see it. Is that why Raggy hasn't pitted? He was waiting for the inters. And we do have rain. You can see it on the front end of these cars. Just streaks of water going across. Now then, who's going to be the first, the front runners, to make that call to come on to a set of inters? Obviously not quite time yet. As soon as you see the DRS has been disabled, that is the perfect time. And you need to be in the perfect position to make the call as well. As Mr. Fist is still hanging around the back of Handmaxton. Gap is still less than a second, but he's just not able to close up that much. Also, they're now going to be starting to struggle a little bit with grip, but it's too soon at this precise moment for inters. As you can see, Crucifixion is just that time between him and Leclerc is increasing by almost half a second every time it ticks. As that is probably, that yellow flag is probably caused by him. No, it's not actually, my apologies. Might have been caused by Raid. So Mr. Fist on the back here, still of Handmaxton. Yellow flags once again going out. So let's have a quick look up. Where is King Buzzer on the track? He's coming up to the pit lane. He's staying out for now. Raggy just behind him. Is he staying out? Is he coming in? He's still going on these incredibly old soft tyres. They must be screaming for dear life on that car. Crucifixion has pitted. He's now pitted again. Has he realised he's made a mistake? He's going back onto the mediums then. And a new nose cone to boot. As his teammate has lapped him now. And he's on the back of Handmaxton. Handmaxton running a little wide there. Mr. Fist is alongside. He's going to look for the cutback. He's going to get DRS. Detection point is there. And he does have DRS. And it looks like he's going to make the move quite comfortably here. As Beefs further back has pitted then. Handmaxton now dropping down to P4. And he's going to be nowhere near making a move. Beefs then pitting onto medium tyres. With this threat of rain, it's an interesting call. Maybe he just felt he couldn't go any longer. So Beast's dropping now down to P6. He does have fresh tyres. He's trying to warm them up in the rain, which is always a risky thing to do. As Leclerc is pitted as well onto a fresh set of mediums. So people's pitting in the drizzling rain onto mediums. Now what is Raggy going to do? He's going for mediums as well. We'll work out if that's a good move as the race progresses. He will come out though behind the battle then for what's now P2 between Mr. Fist and Hatmaxton. But he will be on fresh mediums and able to carve up that gap to the boys in front quite quickly, I suspect. Once those tyres reach their operating temperature, Hatmaxton inside line, turn 5. He's going to take Mr. Fist here, but Mr. Fist does have the inside into the hairpin. He's going for it down the inside of Mr. Fist. Hatmaxton gets the cutback beautifully then on the Mercedes driver. And Hatmaxton taking that P2. And Hatmaxton now starting to pull away a little bit there from Mr. Fist. Let's see what King Buzzo, how is he feeling on these tyres? He's coming up to 2 cars trying to lap each other. That could be dangerous. Just looking a little bit uneasy going through some of these corners. Obviously these softs on his car are getting quite old. And he's got his teammate to lap first of all, and then another car after that. So Mr. Fist and Hatmaxton have pitted. Oh, Hatmaxton with a 5-second penalty. Who is going to take the lead out of here? Mr. Fist with a penalty to serve, and Hatmaxton. Hatmaxton looking to go on another set of softs then. They're both going for another set of softs. Could be doable from here, and Hatmaxton is out ahead. So Reggie is now trying to hunt down the rear of King Buzzo before King decides to pit, and he will be pitting as it stands onto soft tyres. I just wonder if Reggie can get close enough and get the undercut. He was about 6 seconds behind, so it's quite a large undercut to make, but it's not impossible, particularly if there's a little bit of water on the track and you've got very old tyres, as King Buzzo has pitted. Let's see what tyres he goes for. He's going safe onto soft tyres then, so he'll come out in the lead. Quite comfortably in the lead then at the end of the day. Hatmaxton on the rear of Overspeed. Overspeed don't go into the end on his medium tyres. But Hatmaxton has softs on his car. Can he make these tyres work? Overspeed looks a little bit oversteery once again. Hatmaxton's going to get DRS, but I think Overspeed is going to just pull away a little bit here. So the gap at the front is 11 seconds. King Buzzo does have a 3-second penalty, but that's all for now at the moment. As it is still trying to rain, it's interesting that it hasn't changed into winters yet. And Hatmaxton has got right onto the back of Overspeed. Yellow in sector 3, that's not near these guys. Hatmaxton going to go through. Overspeed has that inside line, that incredibly crucial inside line, and as you can see, it is the best line to take if you're trying to defend against someone. Just hold the inside and they can't do anything about it. So Hatmaxton locking up big time then into turn 8. Nearly going into the back of the Overspeed. Just gets much better drive off the corners, does Hatmaxton. And Overspeed's lack of grip is just holding up the Force India boy. And it's working quite well for him. Hatmaxton locking up once again. He's going to be careful because Overspeed is working this one quite well. He just needs to drive his race. Ignore what Hatmaxton is doing. If Hatmaxton keeps locking up, making mistakes, he's just going to burn through his tyres very, very quickly. So Mr. Fist has also managed to get DRS then on Hatmaxton. Hatmaxton now going to make a move on Overspeed. He goes to the outside of the hairpin once again. Has he made this one through? Looks like he has. Overspeed's going to try and come down the inside. Wheel to wheel. Just nudges him out of the way, really. Taking that place back, but Mr. Fist is still behind them now. He had a great DRS run, gained right to the back of this battle. still hanging on the back of these guys. As the rain is still coming down. Doesn't look like it's going to be stopping anytime soon. As the gap at the front is starting to come down a little bit. King Buzzer is now only 9.4 seconds adrift of Raggy, as Raggy saved up a lot of fuel for this final stint. He does actually have a pit stop over his teammate, which is going to be crucial for him, if he requires it, that is. It's about an 17-18 second pit stop. So Claire's had enough. Hamilton with a 3-second penalty. Now, DRS section, can they pass Overspeed? Can we get two people past one on this straight? Overspeed doesn't get the best drive out of the corner, but nor does Mr. Fist. Hamilton does. Overspeed's going to cover the inside into the hairpin once again. Hamilton needs to get onto that inside line if he wants this position. And through comes Mr. Fist. Where did that come from? That was a Mercedes missile. Good thing Hamaxton saw him, because if he turned, Mr. Fist would have been into the side of Hamaxton and probably been in the steward's room after. Hamaxton does not look best impressed by the way he's driving now. He's just a little bit hot-headed there, as you can tell. He's just all over the place. And has actually fallen well off the back then of the battle for third. Mr. Fist now right there. 0.3 is the gap between him and Overspeed. Overspeed's driving a great defensive race. But how long can this defence last for? Crucifixion and 3-second penalties down there in 8th at the moment. Ooh. Mr. Fist very close to the back of Overspeed. And Overspeed's going to hold this for now. Hamaxton is just behind. Is he going to be close enough to get DRS here? You might. And looks like he will actually. Yeah, he will. So he'll be able to close up a little bit. Mr. Fist then. Has he got what it takes to get past Overspeed? Overspeed takes up that defensive line. Oh, a little bit of nudge there. Overspeed still on the inside. Overspeed might have this come back at him. No, looks like Mr. Fist is through then. Overspeed does have the inside line into this corner, but he's too far back. Going to look to make a dive here. He locks up. And Mr. Fist is through then into P3. And Overspeed is going to be under real pressure immediately from Hamilton as Raid has retired. That might have been a retirement just from session out of pure annoyance. As Hamilton trying to find a way down the inside of Sack's hairpin there. And he's made a little mess of his corner, and that's dropped him back a fair bit off the rear of Overspeed. He will get DRS as there are yellow flags. I think that's just from the pit lane. As we are down to 8 drivers. So Raggy out front has closed up the gap to King Buzzo. 7.8 is the gap at the front. As it's still drizzling down. It's very similar to the actual F1 this weather. It just sort of drizzled for most of the race, and some parts of the track was heavy rain, other parts are just bone dry. No one knew what tyres to put on, and as a result, some people had incidents. As Hamilton tries to have an incident with Overspeed, very late on the brakes there into the hairpin, and Overspeed is going to hold that position now. He's still in P4. We're on lap 25 of 34. Overspeed is doing a great job of trying to keep on the back of Mr. Fist. Hamilton keeps making little mistakes that is helping Overspeed out in his defence. So the gap between Hamilton and Overspeed, 0.5 is the gap. I wonder how ready these guys were for a little bit of rain, just to make things that a little bit more interesting. If you thought you didn't have a lot of grip, you have even less now. Hamilton gets a good drive off turn 1. DRS is open. Overspeed going to take the inside line. Hamilton's going to be trying for an undercut. He's not going to make it. Now he's getting that power down. Now he's got the DRS. Overspeed goes very early to defend for the hairpin. Hamilton goes a bit off track there, and that's going to just hinder any chance he's got of making a move. And Overspeed's going to hold P4 once again. Mr. Fist now with a 2-second lead over these guys, and that should be him out of their reach for the time being. Because I don't suspect even if Maxton can get past Overspeed, he will be able to close up on the Mercedes driver ahead of him. Meanwhile, this is going on. Beefs is starting to close down on this battle. He's on 8-lap-old medium, so could potentially be a little ruiner to their little party here. Maxton just needs to take it easy. He needs to cool down a little bit. Get that head sorted and make a move when you can. Try and get the inside into the hairpin. But to get that, you need the best drive you can off turn 4. You need to be really close if you want to make a move. King Buzzer with that 3-second penalty. That's 6 seconds penalties for him now. That's Maxton. Is he going to come through? He's going to be really close to Overspeed. Overspeed's going to have to go very defensive. This could be Maxton's chance. He's got the inside line, and will we see Overspeed behind? There he was. Is Overspeed going to try and move back? I don't think he can from this far back. It would be very suicidal if he does. And Maxton is there up to P4 finally for the 14-year driver. He's been all over the back of Overspeed for a good 6 or 7 laps, and has finally made it work. He does have to start putting away though, because Overspeed will get DRS if he doesn't. So it is still trying to rain a little bit. It's not caused. Only one person came in, changed onto Winters. I believe that was Crucifixion. It hasn't worked out too well for him down there in P8. He saw the rain at Overspeed sliding through the corners. Let's have a look at Beast. Beast is now on the back then of this battle. He was close to getting DRS, but he's not going to this time around. And the gap is 1.1 seconds between him and Overspeed. Is he going to get it here? I don't think so. No, he does. He's not going to make the move, but it'll allow him to close up onto the rear of Overspeed. Give him a great chance next time around. Oh, maybe he's going for it. That is a dive and a half. And that is a contact and a half, that's for sure. Beef's giving that position back then to Overspeed after a very late dive. Fortunately, it was wheel to wheel, so no one picked up any damage. And Beef's just losing the rear end a little bit there. And Beast now settling back into P6. He's going to have another shot with that DRS in a few corners time. Meanwhile, King Buzzo is still currently out ahead. He's on 8-lap-old softs here on 29 of 34, so 5 to go. He does have a few penalties, but I don't think he's going to have that many unless he has a big off. Overspeed though doesn't get the drive off the corner. Beast is going to go alongside and goes around the outside, but Overspeed is trying to come back through. And Beast gains the place, but Overspeed does have DRS. Has Beef learned where to defend? He has. Is he going to be able to defend though? Overspeed is ahead, but only just. And Beef's defending down the inside, but unfortunately Overspeed was still around the outside and takes the position off him. Great overtake then from Overspeed. And he's back up to P5. He does still have the Renault man on his rear end, and one mistake from Overspeed, almost like that, and he'll be through. Oh, he's looking down the inside there. He didn't go for it in the end. So we're on lap 30 or 34 out front. It's quite a hefty gap King Buzzo has, and he might be taking this win quite comfortably at the end. But we are still a fair few laps to go, and all it's going to take is one mistake, and that could be it for him. That could be it for anyone. Just one mistake here. A slightly damp track, slightly old tyres. All it's going to take is that foot down a bit earlier than need be, and your back end is going to go round and around and around. And most importantly for King Buzzo, or Bolo, this is his fourth race in this league. He's never finished a race, as Beefs goes very deep. He is our championship leader. He'll hold that lead unless Overspeed can somehow win the race. And yeah, so crucially, Beast will hold the championship lead going into round 6. But we are still to finish here today. Who knows what can happen in the last few laps. All it's going to take is one person to get ever so slightly wrong and could take out another person. Let's have a look out front. Just have a quick look at King Buzz to see how he's doing. All on his lonesome. He looks alright, doesn't he? Got yellow in sector 3. And that's Overspeed causing the yellow flag. Has he picked up any damage, or has he just lost the back end a little bit? It looks clean. Hamaxton with a 3-second penalty. That could be good news for... Well, it could be good news for Beef, because I think he's already got a couple. Let's have a quick look at Raggy on these medium tyres. Currently in P2 in his first race. He's only got a few laps to go. Can he bring this home to get a second place? He might just. He's got a fair lead over Mr. Fist, so even if he has to pit, he should still hold that lead. And crucially for Raggy, he needs to get the gap down to King Buzzo by about a second. Because King Buzzo at the moment has 6 seconds of penalties. If he occurs another one, Raggy has a chance of taking that from him just through penalties. So not a lot happening elsewhere, so let's just stick with... Let's see what Hamaxton's doing. He's 2 seconds off the back of Mr. Fist. Same age tyres. 12 laps into their softs. These softs are starting to come towards the end of their life. Unfortunately, the race is starting to come towards the end of it as well, so they should be okay. 2 seconds still the gap between 3rd and 4th. There's definitely penalties for both of these drivers. It's whether or not one has more than the other, and it could give up the 3rd place through them. Overspeed further back after that little spin. There's a yellow in sector 3. That's Crucifixion, maybe. That's sector 1. Crucifixion's having some issues there. Wait, King Buzzo had an issue. Raggy is closed up. King Buzzo must have made a mistake then on the final corner and looks everywhere but the front, thinking there's no way the race leader could have made a mistake, and he has. Has he picked up any damage for his issue? No, he looks good. But crucially, we're on lap 33 or 34. Raggy now has the gap under... We had it under 3 seconds. He needs to hold this gap to where it is, because Buzzo has 6 seconds of penalties, and this is what could be the gift that Raggy needs. As King Buzzo's tyres run their course. I don't think so, not quite yet, but they could. All it's going to take is one little trip onto the grass. Obviously, if you've had a little spin, you're going to really cook up your rear tyres. So he's going to have to be careful for the rest of this race. I think Raggy's also being very careful, because that gap is really quite increasing. 4.7 is the gap between Raggy and King Buzzo. I think Raggy's always just taking it so easily, so carefully, and that's why he just keeps doing little mistakes like that. King Buzzo, though, crucially still has a lead and will be outside of the 6 seconds that he needs to be any moment now. We are on the final lap. All it's going to take is one corner cut, and it could go the other way. 5.5 is the gap. Oh, King Buzzo a little bit squirrely on the curves there, on the exit of 4. 5.6 is the gap between him and Reggie now. Has he got enough? Reggie's still not in red fuel. He's got a lot to burn if he wants. King Buzzer coming off the hairpin, turn 6. 6 seconds. He's now got the lead of 6 seconds that he needs. But it'll only take one little back end stepping out to lose that. I think he might have got it covered because Raggie's back end does not like that corner at all. So only a few corners left, 5 corners left to go for King Buzzo, and he'll take the win. This comes through the chicanes for the last time, 2 corners to go. This is where he lost it last time, he's got to be careful. Oh, that back end wanted to go. King Buzzo is going to take the race win, and I suspect he will take the full win after penalties, as Reggie's going to come across the line in P2. Yeah, so 6 seconds penalties for King Buzzo. Reggie just missed out by 1.8 seconds in the end. Further down, Mr. Fist currently in P3. Hamaxton's 2 seconds behind. Have any of these got too many penalties? We're about to find out. Mr. Fist coming around the final. Hamaxton coming around the final as well. Mr. Fist crosses the line. And there, Mr. Fist will take P3 then. Hamaxton with a fair few penalties, unfortunately for him. Beast coming around the final corner as well now. Let's see if he's going to end up P5 if he doesn't lose the back end on the final corner. He's only 2.3 off the back of Hamaxton. He nearly got P4. O-Speed then limping home. Going to bring home in P6. So there you go, that is the end of the German Grand Prix. Next week we'll be in Belgium, but let's have a quick rundown of the results. King Buzzo, as you might expect, took the win. Raggy P2, followed by Mr. Fist, Hamaxton, Beast, O-Speed, Leclerc, Crucifixion, Raid, and Lucas running out your top 10. Raid and Lucas DNFing, unfortunately for them. P11 went to Luke, followed by Buckhaven, and then Hob. So yeah, join us next week. We'll be in Belgium for round 6, and don't forget this is only an 11 round season, so points are really important to have, and especially with Rowe missing out, who won the last 2 races. That's allowed things to Beast to gain a little bit more lead then over Rowe, who was looking unstoppable. But yeah, join us next week, same time, 6:30 UK time, 7:30 Central European time.